HR Director Karen walks into my corner office at 10:15 on a Tuesday morning with 2 empty cardboard boxes and a tight smile. She says the new hire, Bradley, has an MBA from Northwestern and needs the corner office for client meetings. I have been Director of Client Strategy for 7 years, saved 3 major accounts last quarter alone, but Karen insists this is about optics and fresh perspective. I look at the boxes, then at my wall of achievement plaques. I do not argue, I just start packing. The thing about working somewhere for 8 years is that you accumulate a lot of stuff. Awards, photos, client gifts, coffee mugs with inspirational quotes that stopped being inspirational around year 3. I started at Stratton and Cole Marketing as a junior account coordinator, the person who took notes in meetings and ordered lunch for the executives. I was 26 years old, fresh out of state school with a communications degree and a mountain of student loans. I worked 70-hour weeks. I learned every client inside and out, memorized their brand guidelines, their quarterly goals, their CEO's coffee preferences. I did not complain. I did not ask for special treatment. I just showed up and did the work. 3 years into my time here, the company nearly lost its biggest client, a national retail chain worth $3.2 million annually. The previous director had launched a campaign that completely missed the mark, insulted their core customer base, and caused a social media firestorm. The client was ready to walk. I was still just a senior coordinator then, but I knew that account better than anyone. I had been in every meeting, read every brief, understood their pain points. So I did something crazy. I called the client's CEO directly and asked for 1 hour to pitch a new direction. She gave me 30 minutes. I rebuilt that relationship from scratch. I created a campaign that not only fixed the damage but went viral in the right way. Their revenue increased by 48% that quarter. The client stayed. I got promoted to Director of Client Strategy in this corner office. That was 4 years ago. Since then, I have built a team of 6 people. I trained each one personally, taught them everything I learned the hard way. Last quarter alone, I brought in 2 new accounts worth $1.7 million combined. I know every major client's history, their preferences, their fears, the names of their kids. But apparently, none of that matters as much as an MBA from Northwestern. Karen hovers near the door while I pack, trying to fill the silence with corporate speak. She talks about organizational restructuring and leveraging new talent and maximizing our strategic positioning. I keep my face blank and neutral. I fold my framed photo of my team at last year's holiday party and place it carefully in the box. My assistant Jamie appears in the doorway. She is 23, eager and bright, and I have been grooming her to move up. Her face looks like someone just told her, Santa is not real. Deidre. Her voice cracks slightly. What's happening? Just doing some reorganizing, I say calmly. Nothing to worry about. But her eyes fill with tears anyway, and I feel something crack inside my chest. Other employees start walking by, slowing down to peek inside. The whispers start immediately. I can feel their shock, their confusion, their second-hand embarrassment. Linda from Accounting mouths, I'm so sorry through the glass wall. Marcus from Sales just stares, shaking his head. I take down my plaques one by one. 7 years of recognition. Client Advocate of the Year. Top Revenue Generator. Leadership Excellence Award. I stack them in the box like they are old magazines. That is when Bradley walks in. He is 2 hours early. His official start time was not until noon, but here he is at 10:45, wearing a suit that probably cost more than my monthly rent. He has perfectly styled hair, a confident smile, and the kind of swagger that comes from never having to prove yourself. Hey, this is going to be my office, right? He walks past me like I am part of the furniture and opens the blinds wider. Great light in here. Good feng shui. I stop packing and look at him. Really look at him. He cannot be older than 26. You must be Bradley. I say evenly. That's me. Bradley Martin. He extends his hand like he is doing me a favor. I shake it because muscle memory is a powerful thing. And you're Deidre, right? Karen mentioned you were moving out today. Moving out, like I am a tenant whose lease is up. Listen, he continues, settling himself against what used to be my desk. Before you go, can you show me where the good lunch spots are around here? Also, I'm going to need the passwords to all the client files. Oh, and if you have any notes or anything, that would be super helpful. I stare at him. Karen has gone very still in the doorway. No hard feelings. Right, Bradley says, flashing that confident smile again. This is just business. I am sure they will find you a nice desk somewhere. Something inside me goes very, very cold. A nice desk somewhere. I have saved this company millions of dollars. I have worked weekends and holidays. I have missed birthdays and weddings and life because I was building something here. And this kid, who has never worked a single day in this industry, who has never managed a difficult client or saved a failing campaign, is standing in my office telling me he is sure they will find me a nice desk somewhere. I close the box I am packing. I pick it up. I pick up the second box. Good luck with those lunch spots, I say quietly. You're going to need it. I walk past Karen, past Bradley, past the gawking employees in the hallway. I do not stop at my former desk space to see where they plan to put me. I do not stop at HR to file a complaint. I do not stop at Marcus' office to demand an explanation. I walk straight through the lobby, push open the glass doors with my shoulder, and head to my car. It is 11:45 in the morning. By the time I set the boxes in my trunk and slide into the driver's seat, my phone is already buzzing. I ignore it. I start the car and pull out of the parking lot, and the strangest feeling washes over me. I am not angry. I am not sad. I am calm, because I know something they do not know yet. They just made the biggest mistake of their corporate lives. I drive home in complete silence. No radio, no podcast, no angry music to match my mood. I do not need it. My mind is perfectly clear. My apartment is quiet when I walk in. It is a modest one-bedroom in a decent neighborhood. Nothing fancy. I have always kept my lifestyle reasonable, saved aggressively, never let my spending inflate with my salary increases. It is a habit from growing up without much, and right now I am grateful for it. I set the boxes down in my living room and make myself a cup of tea. Through my kitchen window, I can see the downtown skyline. Stratton and Cole's office is in one of those buildings, though I cannot see it from here. I wonder if they have noticed I am not coming back yet. They will soon. Here is what they do not understand. What Marcus, the CEO, and Karen, the HR director, and certainly not Bradley, the MBA kid, understand. I am not just the director of client strategy. I am the relationship foundation for 40% of their business. The Thornhill account alone is worth $4.3 million annually. Patricia Thornhill, the CEO of Thornhill Industries, is notoriously difficult. She has fired 3 marketing agencies in 5 years. She does not trust easily, does not tolerate incompetence, and has 0 patience for corporate nonsense. But she trusts me. She has my personal cell phone number. We have coffee once a month. I know her daughter just got accepted to Cornell. I know she is allergic to shellfish. I know she hates the color orange and will not approve any campaign that uses it. I know that her company is built on a family legacy and that she values loyalty above everything else. And there is a major presentation scheduled for tomorrow at 2 in the afternoon. It is a contract renewal meeting. 3 more years with Stratton and Cole or she walks. The presentation deck is 80% in my head. The rest is on my laptop. My personal laptop, not company property. The shared drive has only basic surface information, the kind of stuff any decent strategist could find with a Google search. But the real insights, the nuanced understanding of what Patricia needs and wants and fears, That is all locked in my brain and my personal notes. I sip my tea and check my phone. 15 missed calls, 23 text messages. I scroll through them. Jamie, Deidre, please call me back. Everyone is freaking out. Marcus, Deidre, we need to talk. Call me as soon as possible. Karen, I think there was a misunderstanding. Please return my call. I set the phone down and open my laptop. I update my resume. It takes me 20 minutes because I have accomplished a lot in 8 years. Then I send emails to 2 former colleagues who left Stratton & Cole for competitor agencies. Within an hour, both have responded. The first one, Sarah, now works at Meridian Creative. Her email says, "Are you serious? We have been trying to recruit you for 2 years. When can you start?" The second one, Tom, is now at Vertex Marketing Group. His message is even more direct. "Name your price. We will make it work." Tom follows up with a phone call 10 minutes later. We talk for 30 minutes. He offers me a director-level position with a 20% salary increase. He says they have been watching my work for years and would be thrilled to have me. I tell him I need a few days to think about it. He says, "Take all the time I need." I am no longer upset about this morning. I feel something else entirely. I feel liberated. Back at Stratton & Cole, I imagine the panic is starting to set in. It is 1:15 in the afternoon now. Someone has probably asked where I am. Someone has probably tried to call me. Someone has probably realized I am not coming back. My phone rings again. Marcus this time. I let it go to voicemail. He calls again immediately. I decline the call. Then an email comes through from him. "Deidre, please respond. We need to discuss what happened this morning." There was a miscommunication. A miscommunication. That is what they are calling it. At 2:30, my phone rings from a number I recognize immediately. Patricia Thornhill's assistant. I almost answer, but then I stop myself. I let it go to voicemail. She leaves a message. "Hello, Deidre. This is Angela calling for Patricia. She wanted to go over some last-minute details for tomorrow's presentation. Could you please call back at your earliest convenience? Thank you." I wonder how long it will take them to call Angela back and realize I am no longer with the company. Not long, apparently. At 2:45, my phone explodes. Marcus calls 3 times in a row. Karen calls twice. Even Bradley tries calling, which is almost funny. Then Jamie sends me a text that makes me close my eyes. "Patricia Thornhill just called. She asked for you. Marcus had to tell her you left. She said if you're not there tomorrow, they're canceling the contract." The whole office is losing it. There it is, $4.3 million gone, 18% of the company's annual revenue, walking out the door. And it is only Tuesday afternoon. My phone rings again. This time it is a number I do not recognize, but the area code is local. I answer. Deidre Sutton, a woman's voice, professional and crisp. Speaking. "This is Helen Cartwright. I am the board chair for Stratton & Cole. Do you have a moment to talk?" I sit up straighter. Helen Cartwright is a legend in the marketing industry. She was the CEO of Stratton & Cole 15 years ago, grew it from a small firm to a regional powerhouse, then stepped back to chair the board. She is known for being brilliant, direct, and fair. "I have a moment," I say carefully. "I just got off the phone with Patricia Thornhill," Helen says. "She told me what happened this morning. I need you to know that was not supposed to happen the way it did. Then how was it supposed to happen?" There is a pause. "You deserve a real explanation, and I would like to give you one in person. Are you available to meet this evening?" "I do not think so." "Deidre." Helen's voice softens slightly. "I understand you are angry. You have every right to be. But I am asking you to hear me out. Not for the company's sake, for yours." Something in her tone makes me hesitate. "What do you mean?" "Meet me for coffee at 6, the place on 5th Street near the office. 30 minutes of your time. If you are not satisfied with what I have to say, you walk away and we never bother you again. Do we have a deal? I look at the clock. It is 3:15 now. Fine, I say. 6 o'clock. Thank you, Helen says, and she sounds genuinely relieved. I will see you then. She hangs up, and I sit there holding my phone, trying to figure out what just happened. Why would the board chair personally call me? Why does she want to meet in person? The answer comes in another text from Jamie. Marcus just called an emergency meeting. Bradley tried to volunteer to handle the Thornhill presentation tomorrow. He actually said he could charm Patricia back. Marcus looked like he was going to have a heart attack. I laugh out loud. I cannot help it. Bradley Martin, who has worked in this industry for exactly 0 days, thinks he can charm Patricia Thornhill, the woman who once fired an agency because their CEO showed up 7 minutes late to a meeting. This is going to be a disaster. And for the first time all day, I realize I am actually curious to see how this plays out. The coffee shop on 5th Street is one of those exposed brick Edison bulb places that serves $8 lattes and has Wi-Fi passwords written on tiny chalkboards. I arrive at 5:55, order a regular coffee because I am not in the mood for performance beverages, and sit at a corner table where I can see the door. Helen Cartwright walks in at exactly 6 o'clock. She is in her early 60s, with silver hair cut in a sharp bob and the kind of presence that makes people sit up straighter. She is wearing a tailored blazer and carries herself like someone who has earned every bit of her authority. She spots me immediately, orders her own coffee, and joins me at the table. "Thank you for coming," she says, settling into the chair across from me. "I know you did not have to. You were right about one thing," I say. "I am curious." Helen nods. "Fair enough. Let me start with an apology. What happened this morning was inexcusable. Karen mishandled the situation catastrophically, and Marcus failed to properly communicate the full context of the organizational changes we were implementing. Organizational changes, I repeat flatly. Is that what we are calling it? Let me be direct with you, Deidre, because I think you have earned that. Helen leans forward slightly. You were on the short list to be promoted to Vice President of Client Relations next quarter. The position comes with a significant salary increase and an equity stake in the company. I go very still. What? The corner office situation was meant to be temporary. We are renovating the executive suite on the 10th floor. Your new office was going to be up there, twice the size of the corner office, with a view of the river. Bradley was hired as a senior strategy consultant, a role that would have reported to you once you moved into the VP position. My coffee cup hovers halfway to my mouth. Then why did Karen tell me to pack up my office for him? Helen closes her eyes briefly, and I can see genuine frustration on her face. Because Karen received incomplete information from Marcus, and instead of clarifying the details, she made assumptions and handled the transition in the worst possible way. She was supposed to explain that you would be moving to temporary space while your new office was being prepared. She was supposed to frame it as part of your promotion track. Instead, she showed up with boxes and made it sound like you were being demoted to make room for a new hire. I set my cup down carefully. And Marcus knew about the promotion. He absolutely knew. He is the one who recommended you for it. But he failed to communicate clearly with HR, and when Karen went rogue with her interpretation, he did not catch it in time. Helen shakes her head. It is a cascading failure of communication and management, and you were the casualty. I try to process this. All day, I have been running on the assumption that I was being pushed out, that my years of work meant nothing, that some kid with an MBA was more valuable than my track record. But if what Helen is saying is true, then this was not malice. It was incompetence, which somehow makes it worse. Why are you telling me this now? I ask. Why not this morning when it happened? Because I was in board meetings all morning in Chicago and did not find out until Patricia Thornhill called me directly at 3 o'clock. Helen meets my eyes. She told me the entire story. She also told me that if you are not back at Stratton and Cole, happy and properly valued, she will not only pull her contract but will tell every company in her network what happened. Patricia has a lot of influence in this city. She does. I agree quietly. So here is where we are. Helen folds her hands on the table. The company needs you. Not just because of Patricia, though that is certainly the immediate crisis, but because you are genuinely excellent at what you do, and we would be fools to lose you over something this stupid. What about Bradley? Helen sighs. Bradley was hired because his father is a senior partner at Whitmore and Associates. Marcus thought that if we brought Bradley on, his father would bring their legal business to us. It is worth potentially $2 million a year. Potentially. I repeat. There is no signed contract. It was a handshake deal based on a dinner conversation. Marcus jumped at the connection without properly vetting it or considering the implications. I lean back in my chair. So you gave up your best strategist for a maybe contract that does not exist yet? Yes. Helen does not try to sugarcoat it. It was a terrible decision. And now you want me to come back and fix the mess. I want you to come back because you deserve the VP role, the equity, and the recognition you have earned. The Thornhill situation is urgent, yes. But this is bigger than one client. This is about making things right. I look at her for a long moment. Helen Cartwright did not become a legend in this industry by being dishonest. Her reputation is built on integrity and smart business. But I am not the same person who walked into the office this morning. What happens to Bradley? I ask. Helen does not hesitate. That depends on you. If you want him gone, he is gone. If you want him reporting to you, we can make that work. But I will not ask you to work alongside someone who disrespected you. I think about Bradley's smug smile, his casual cruelty, his assumption that he deserved my office simply by virtue of existing. I want him gone, I say. Done. And Karen. She will receive a formal write-up and additional training on how to properly handle organizational transitions. If you want her terminated, I will consider it. I shake my head. No, but I want a written apology from her. You will have it. My phone buzzes on the table. A text from Patricia. Call me when you can. Helen sees it and smiles slightly. She is worried about you. She is a good client, I say. She is more than that. She is a friend. That is the kind of relationship you build, Deidre. That is what makes you invaluable. I pick up my phone and look at Patricia's message. Then I look back at Helen. I need time to think about this. Of course. How much time do you need? I will call you tomorrow morning with my answer. Helen nods and stands. That is fair. But I want you to know something before you decide. This company is better with you in it. I am not saying that to manipulate you or because we are desperate, though we definitely are right now. I am saying it because it is true. You make us better. You make your team better, and you deserve to be somewhere that recognizes that every single day. She leaves her business card on the table and walks out. I sit there for a long time, staring at my cold coffee. My phone rings. Patricia. I answer. Hi, Patricia. Deidre, thank goodness. Are you okay? I am fine. I heard you spoke to Helen. I did. I also called Marcus directly and told him exactly what I thought of how he treated you. I may have used some language that would not be appropriate in a marketing presentation. Patricia's voice is fierce and protective. What they did to you was unacceptable. Thank you. I say, and I mean it. Listen, I know you are probably being offered all sorts of things to come back, but I want you to hear me out on something. Okay, come work for me. Directly. I have been thinking about bringing marketing in-house for a while now, and you are exactly who I would want to lead it. I will double your salary. You will have a team, a budget, creative freedom, and my complete support. And I will personally buy out your non-compete clause if Stratton tries to enforce it. I close my eyes. That is a tremendous offer. You do not have to answer right now, Patricia continues. But I want you to know that you have options. You do not have to go back to people who did not appreciate you. You can build something new, something better, somewhere you are valued from day one. Can I think about it? I ask. Of course. But Deidre? Regardless of what you decide about your job situation, I am canceling my contract with Stratton and Cole. That is not negotiable. They lost my trust today. We talk for a few more minutes, and then I hang up. I have 3 options now. 1. Go back to Stratton and Cole with the VP title, equity, and apology. 2. Accept Patricia's offer and build a marketing department from scratch. 3. Take the offer from Tom at Vertex Marketing Group and start fresh somewhere new. I drive home and spend the evening looking at all 3 options from every angle. But somewhere around 9:30 at night, I realize there is actually a 4th option. What if I do not just accept what I am offered? What if I negotiate from a position of complete power? I am the one with the leverage here. I am the one they need. I am the one Patricia trusts. So why am I acting like I should be grateful for whatever they decide to give me? I open my laptop and start writing a list. Not of what I am willing to accept. A list of what I want. I sleep better than I have in months. When I wake up at 7 on Wednesday morning, I feel clear-headed and calm. I make myself breakfast, take my time getting ready, and at 7:45 I send Patricia a text. Can we meet for breakfast at 8? I want to hear more about your offer. She responds in under a minute. Absolutely. The Usual Place. The Usual Place is a small French cafe 3 blocks from her office. It is quiet, elegant, and serves the best croissants in the city. Patricia and I have been meeting here once a month for the past 2 years. Always on a Wednesday morning, always at 8 o'clock. I arrive first and order coffee. Patricia walks in at exactly 8, wearing a power suit and her signature red lipstick. She hugs me before sitting down, which is not something she does with many people. Tell me you slept okay, she says. Better than I expected. Good. I was worried about you. Patricia orders her usual cappuccino and a fruit plate. Now, let me tell you what I am thinking. For the next 30 minutes, Patricia lays out her vision. She wants to bring all marketing in-house, build a department from the ground up. She is offering me the title of Chief Marketing Officer, a salary of $210,000, full benefits, a team of 15 people that I would hire and train myself, and complete creative freedom to shape the department however I see fit. You would report directly to me, she says. No bureaucracy, no competing with other departments for resources. You would have everything you need to succeed. It is an incredible offer, more than incredible. It is the kind of opportunity most people spend their entire careers hoping for. Why me? I ask. Patricia smiles. Because you are brilliant at what you do, because you understand my company better than most of my own employees, because I trust you, and because I have watched you for years, and I know you are capable of so much more than what you have been allowed to do at Stratton. That is very generous. It is not generosity, Deidre. It is good business. I am offering you this because you will make my company better. She pauses, her expression softening. But I also want you to know something else. You deserve to be somewhere that values you from day one, not somewhere that realizes your worth only after they lose you. You should never have to prove yourself again. Those words hit harder than I expect. I need to be honest with you. I say, Helen called me yesterday. She explained what happened. Apparently I was being promoted to VP, and the whole office situation was a miscommunication that spiraled. Do you believe her? I think so. Helen does not have a reputation for dishonesty. Patricia considers this. What are they offering you to come back? I have not asked yet. I wanted to talk to you first. Smart. Patricia leans back in her chair. Here is what I think. You have leverage right now that you may never have again. They need you desperately. I am offering you a clear alternative, and I am sure other agencies are circling. So whatever you decide, make sure you are getting everything you deserve. You are okay if I go back to them, Deidre. I am okay with whatever makes you happy and fulfilled, but I will not be working with Stratton and Cole anymore, regardless. That ship has sailed. We finish breakfast, and Patricia picks up the check, despite my protests. As we are leaving, she squeezes my hand. Whatever you decide, know that the offer stands. No pressure, no timeline. You have earned the right to choose what is best for you. I walk to my car and sit in the parking lot for 10 minutes, thinking. Then I call Helen. She answers on the second ring. Deidre. Good morning. Good morning. I have thought about your offer, and I am interested in coming back. But I have conditions. I am listening. I take a breath and read from the list I made last night. I want the VP title with the equity stake you mentioned. I want a salary of $190,000. I want Bradley terminated immediately, today. I want Karen to receive a formal write-up for mishandling the situation. I want to choose my own office, and I would prefer the one with southern exposure on the 8th floor, not the executive suite. I want my entire team to receive raises, 10% across the board. I want a formal company-wide email from Marcus, acknowledging my value and apologizing for what happened. And I want all of this in writing, including a new contract that I can review with a lawyer before I sign. There is a long silence on the other end. Then Helen says, "Done. All of it." I blink. All of it. Yes. Can you come to the office this afternoon? Say 2 o'clock. I can. Good. I will have everything ready. Helen pauses. And Deidre? Thank you for giving us the chance to make this right. After we hang up, I sit there, feeling slightly stunned. I expected negotiation, pushback, compromise. Instead, I got immediate agreement to every single demand. Maybe I should have asked for more. But then my phone buzzes with a text from an unknown number. This is Bradley Martin. I do not know what you said to Helen, but I just got fired. I want you to know that I have connections in this industry, and you just made an enemy. Good luck getting hired anywhere else. I stare at the message for a moment. Then I screenshot it and send it to Helen with a note. You might want to see this. She responds immediately. Oh, for the love of... I will handle it. See you at 2. I spend the rest of the morning organizing my thoughts and preparing for the Thornhill presentation. Because even though Patricia said she is not working with Stratton anymore, I owe it to my team to try to fix this. At 1:30, I get a text from Jamie. Is it true? Are you coming back? I will be there at 2, I respond. Her reply is just a string of heart emojis. At 1:45, I pull into the Stratton and Cole parking lot. My assigned space is still empty. Still has my name on the sign. I park and take a deep breath. Then I walk through those glass doors for the second time in 2 days. The reception area goes silent when I enter. Sandra at the front desk looks like she might cry. Welcome back, she whispers. I smile at her and head to the elevator. When I step off on the 7th floor where my team sits, I hear a gasp. Then everyone starts clapping. My entire team stands up. Jamie is openly crying. Marcus from sales is grinning. Linda from accounting is recording the moment on her phone. Even people from other departments have come over to see. I feel my throat tighten. Helen is waiting by what used to be my corner office. Bradley's things are already gone, the desk empty again. Conference room, she suggests. We walk together to the large conference room, and I realize Marcus is already there, along with the company's lawyer and a stack of papers. Deidre, Marcus says, standing. He looks exhausted. I owe you an apology. A massive one. What happened yesterday was inexcusable. and it was my failure of leadership that caused it. Thank you, I say simply. I have your new contract here, the lawyer says, pushing the papers toward me. Everything you asked for is included. Take your time reviewing it. We can schedule a time next week for you to bring it back signed. I flip through it. VP of Client Relations, salary of $190,000. Equity stake of 2%. Company car allowance, 4 weeks vacation. Everything is there. I will have my lawyer look at this, I say. Of course. Helen pulls up something on her laptop and turns it toward me. This is the email that went out to the entire company 20 minutes ago. I read it. It is from Marcus, and it is titled, An Important Acknowledgement. The email thanks me for my years of service, acknowledges that the company mishandled a transition, apologizes publicly for the confusion and disrespect, and announces my promotion to VP of Client Relations. It emphasizes my value to the company and makes it clear that I have the full support of leadership. It is more than I expected. Your team's raises have been processed, Helen adds. They will see them in Friday's paycheck. Thank you. There is one more thing, Marcus says. We need to address the Thornhill situation. I spoke with Patricia this morning. I say, she is firm on her decision to end the contract. Marcus looks like someone punched him. Is there anything we can do? I can try, I say. But I need to be clear about something. Patricia is my friend. I am not going to manipulate her or pressure her into staying with a company that lost her trust. If she agrees to reconsider, it will be because she chooses to, not because I convinced her. Understood, Helen says. I spend the next hour in that conference room, going over details and timelines. Then I go down to the 7th floor to see my team. They are waiting in our meeting area, all 6 of them. So, I say, sitting down, that was an interesting couple of days. Jamie laughs through tears. I thought you were gone forever. I almost was. What made you come back? Asks Daniel, one of my senior strategists. I think about how to answer that. I came back because I realized something. I built something good here. We built something good. And I was not ready to walk away from that just because some people did not understand my value. But I also was not willing to come back without being properly compensated and respected. So, you negotiated, Sarah says, grinning. I negotiated hard. And part of what I negotiated was raises for all of you. 10%, starting Friday. The room erupts. There are hugs and high fives and probably some tears. Listen, I say when things calm down. We have work to do. Patricia Thornhill is pulling her contract, and I do not blame her, but I am going to call her and see if there is any path forward. Not for the company, but because I care about the work we did for her. Okay. They all nod. I go to my new office, the one with southern exposure on the 8th floor. Someone has already moved my boxes up here, arranged my plaques on the shelves, even put a welcome back plant on the desk. I sit down and call Patricia. Hi, I say when she answers. It is me. Tell me you are okay. I am. I went back. They met all my demands, including firing Bradley. Good. He sounded like a nightmare. He was. I pause. Patricia, I am not calling to ask you to reconsider your decision about the contract. That is entirely up to you, and I will support whatever you choose. But I wanted you to know that I am back, and if there is ever a future where you feel comfortable working with Stratton again, my door is open. You are not going to pitch me. No. You deserve better than a pitch. You deserve the truth. And the truth is that they screwed up, they know they screwed up, and they are trying to fix it. But trust is not something you can fix with a meeting. It takes time. Patricia is quiet for a moment. You know what? Let me think about it. No promises, but let me think about it. That is all I can ask. We talk for a few more minutes, and then I hang up. I look around my new office. It is bigger than the corner office, with better light and a view of the city skyline. There is a fresh contract on my desk that gives me equity in a company I helped build. There is a team downstairs that trusts me and respects me, and I did not beg for any of it. I demanded it. For the first time in my career, I feel like I am exactly where I am supposed to be. The rest of Wednesday passes in a blur of meetings and emails. I spend 2 hours with my team, going over our current projects and making sure nothing fell through the cracks during my very brief exit. Everyone is energized, almost giddy with relief. Jamie keeps looking at me like I might disappear again. Around 5 in the evening, I get a call from an unknown number. I almost do not answer, but something makes me pick up. Deidre Sutton. Speaking. This is Patricia Thornhill. I have been thinking about what you said earlier. My heart speeds up. Okay. Here is my position. I am disappointed in how Stratton and Cole treated you. That kind of disrespect toward talented people is exactly why I left my last 2 agencies. However, I also recognize that organizations are made up of imperfect humans who sometimes make terrible decisions. That is a fair assessment. So I am willing to do this. We will keep tomorrow's presentation meeting as scheduled. You will present as planned. If I am satisfied with the presentation and convinced that the company has genuinely learned something from this disaster, I will consider a 1-year contract renewal instead of 3. Shorter leash, more oversight from me. They can earn back my full trust over time. I close my eyes in relief. Patricia, thank you. Do not thank me. I am doing this for you, not for them. You did good work for me, and I want to see how you do now that you have the title and authority you should have had all along. After we hang up, I immediately call Helen to tell her. She sounds like she might actually cry with relief. Then I call Marcus, who definitely does cry with relief. We will not let you down, he promises. Or Patricia. Never again. I am going to hold you to that. That night, I work until 8 preparing for tomorrow's presentation, not because I have to, but because I want it to be perfect. This is not just about saving a client anymore. This is about proving something to myself. I am ordering dinner when my phone rings. It is Karen from HR. I hesitate, then answer. Hello? Deidre, hi. I hope I am not bothering you. She sounds nervous, tentative. I wanted to call and apologize. In person. Not just in the email I sent. Okay, what I did yesterday was unacceptable. I made assumptions instead of verifying information, and I failed to communicate with you respectfully. I made you feel like you were being demoted when the opposite was true, and there is no excuse for that. I can hear the genuine remorse in her voice. I have worked in HR for 15 years, she continues. I should have known better. I did know better. But I let myself get rushed and overwhelmed, and I took the easy path instead of the right one. You deserved so much more than that. Thank you for saying that, I say quietly. Helen told me about the write-up. I am not angry about it. I earned it. But I also wanted to ask if you would be willing to meet with me sometime next week. Not to make excuses, but to hear your perspective on how I can be better. I want to learn from this. I think about that. Karen has been at Stratton for 12 years. She has always been nice to me, if not particularly close. This mistake was huge, but it was not malicious. Okay, I say. We can meet next week. Thank you, really. And Deidre, I am glad you came back. This place needs you. After we hang up, I sit on my couch feeling something shift inside me. Forgiveness is not weakness. It is actually one of the hardest and most powerful things you can do. I am not going to forget what happened, but I can choose to let people learn from their mistakes instead of punishing them forever. My phone buzzes with a text. It is from Jamie. I just heard from Angela about Patricia reconsidering. You are amazing. Then another text comes in, From Daniel. The whole team wants to take you out for drinks Friday to celebrate. Please say yes. Then Sarah. We are so glad you are back. Nothing was the same without you. I respond to all of them, feeling warmth spread through my chest. This is what I almost walked away from. Not just the job or the title, but the relationships, the team, the sense of building something meaningful together. On Thursday morning, I arrive at the office at 8. The Thornhill presentation is not until 2, but I want to go through it one more time with the team. We gather in the large conference room. I have included all 6 of my team members in today's presentation, giving each person a section to present. This is not just my win. It is ours. We practice twice, timing each section, smoothing out transitions. By noon, we are ready. Patricia arrives at 1:55 with her assistant Angela and her CFO Robert. She is wearing a navy suit and her game face. Patricia, I say, standing to greet her. Thank you for coming. I am here to listen, she says neutrally. But then she gives me the smallest smile. Show me what you have got. For the next 90 minutes, my team and I present a comprehensive marketing strategy for the next year. We have campaigns planned for 3 major product launches, a complete social media overhaul, targeted outreach to millennials and Gen Z consumers, and a brand refresh that honors Thornhill's legacy while positioning them for future growth. Each team member presents their section flawlessly. Jamie talks about social media engagement with confidence and creativity. Daniel breaks down the analytics that support our recommendations. Sarah presents the visual concepts with enthusiasm that is contagious. And I tie it all together, showing how each piece connects to Patricia's ultimate goals: growth, loyalty, and legacy. When we finish, Patricia sits back in her chair and looks at us for a long moment. That was excellent, she says finally. Really excellent. Relief floods the room. I have one question, Patricia continues, looking directly at me. How do I know this company will continue to value you and your team the way they should? How do I know we will not be having this same conversation a year from now? I glance at Helen, who is sitting in the back of the room. She nods at me. You have my word, I say. And more importantly, Helen has put systems in place to make sure nothing like this happens again. We have restructured our communication protocols, our HR procedures, and our decision-making processes. But beyond that, I can tell you this. I am not staying somewhere that does not value me. If I ever feel disrespected or undervalued again, I will leave, and you will know about it. So the fact that I am here, presenting to you today, should tell you everything you need to know about whether things have changed. Patricia considers this. Then she looks at Helen. Is that accurate? Completely, Helen says. We almost lost the best strategist we have ever had because of poor management and worse communication. We will not make that mistake again. Patricia nods slowly. All right. I am prepared to offer a 1-year contract renewal, same terms as before, but with quarterly check-ins directly with Deidre to make sure things are on track. If the year goes well, we will discuss a longer-term commitment. Marcus, who has been silent this whole time, nearly collapses with relief. Thank you, Patricia. You will not regret this. I had better not, she says, but her expression softens when she looks at me. Good work, Deidre. This is exactly what I hope to see. After Patricia and her team leave, the conference room erupts into cheers. Helen shakes my hand. Marcus hugs me despite my surprise, and my team practically dances out of the room. I stay behind for a moment, looking at the presentation slides still on the screen. 2 days ago, I thought I was done here. Now I am standing in this room as a VP, having just saved the company's biggest account, with a team that trusts me and leadership that finally understands my value. Sometimes the best decision you can make is to refuse to accept less than you deserve, and sometimes, when you do that, Everything else falls into place. Friday morning arrives with the kind of energy that makes you believe things might actually be okay. I get to the office at 8:30, which is late for me but feels appropriately triumphant. I am a VP now. I can show up when I want. Okay, that is not really true, but it is nice to pretend. My new office already feels like home. Someone from facilities brought up my desk plant, the one I have kept alive for 6 years through sheer stubborn determination. There is a framed photo of my team from last year's holiday party, and there is a new nameplate on my door that reads Deidre Sutton, Vice President of Client Relations. I sit down and check my email. There is one from the company lawyer with the finalized contract attached. I have already had my own lawyer review it. Everything checks out. I print it, sign it, and scan it back. It is official. At 9:15, there is a knock on my door. Helen walks in. "Morning," she says. "Do you have a minute?" Of course. She sits down across from my desk. I wanted to follow up on something from yesterday. Patricia mentioned quarterly check-ins with you directly. I think that is a smart idea, but I also want to implement that across all your major accounts. Direct line of communication with clients. No bureaucratic barriers. I like that. Good. Also, I spoke with the board this morning. They were incredibly impressed with how you handled this whole situation. Not just the client work, but the negotiation, the leadership, the grace under pressure. Helen smiles. You are going to be running this company someday, Deidre. I want you to know that. I blink. That is a big statement. It is also true. You have the skills, the integrity, and the emotional intelligence. Those 3 things together are rare. I am planning to retire in about 5 years, and I want to spend that time making sure the right people are positioned to take over. You are one of those people. I do not know what to say to that. No pressure. Helen adds, standing up. Just something to think about. For now, focus on being an excellent VP. The rest will come. After she leaves, I sit there for a moment, processing, running the company. Me, the girl who started here 8 years ago, taking notes and ordering lunch. My phone buzzes. It is a text from a number I do not recognize. Hi, Deidre. This is Bradley. I wanted to apologize for that text I sent on Wednesday. It was unprofessional and petty. I was angry and embarrassed, and I took it out on you. You did not deserve that. I have had some time to reflect, and I realize I came into this job with a lot of arrogance and no real understanding of what it takes to succeed in this industry. I hope your career goes well. You clearly earned everything you got. Bradley. I read it twice. It is a real apology. No excuses, no justifications, just accountability. I text back. Thank you for this. I appreciate the apology. Good luck with your next opportunity. It feels good to close that loop with grace instead of bitterness. At 10, my team gathers for our weekly meeting. But this time, there is cake. Jamie brought it, chocolate with cream cheese frosting. And it says, "Welcome back, Deidre," in blue icing. You guys are ridiculous, I say, but I am grinning. We are celebrating, Daniel says. We almost lost you. We are not taking that for granted. We spend the meeting going over active projects and upcoming deadlines. Everything feels lighter, more collaborative. There is a sense of shared victory that changes the energy in the room. At 11, I get a call from Patricia. I thought about it last night, she says without preamble. And I changed my mind about something. My stomach drops. Okay. I want to go back to the 3-year contract, not 1 year. Really. Yesterday's presentation reminded me why I hired Stratton and Cole in the first place. You do excellent work. Your team is talented and professional. And I believe Helen when she says they have learned from this mess. So let's do 3 years. I lean back in my chair, smiling. Patricia, that is wonderful news. Email me the updated contract details. I will have my legal team review it next week. After we hang up, I immediately call Helen to tell her. She actually laughs out loud, which I have never heard her do before. "You did it," she says. "You saved the account and upgraded the terms. That is brilliant work, Deidre. We did it. The whole team. Take the credit. You have earned it." That afternoon, I have a meeting scheduled with Karen. She comes to my office at 2, looking nervous. "Thank you for meeting with me," she says, sitting down. "Of course. I have been thinking a lot about what happened, about where I went wrong and how to make sure it never happens again." She pulls out a notebook. "I made a list of changes I want to implement in HR, better communication protocols, mandatory check-ins before any major personnel changes, direct employee feedback mechanisms. I was hoping you could review them and tell me what I am missing." We spend an hour going through her list. She takes notes on everything I say, asks thoughtful questions, and genuinely seems committed to doing better. "Can I ask you something?" she says as we are wrapping up. "Sure." "How did you stay so calm through all of this? When everything was falling apart, you just walked away and let it play out. How did you know that would work?" I think about that. Honestly, I did not know it would work. But I knew that begging or arguing or making a scene would not get me what I deserved. The only power I had was the power to leave. So I used it. Karen nods slowly. That took guts. It took clarity. I knew my value, even when other people did not. That made all the difference. That evening, my team takes me out for drinks at a bar near the office. It is one of those upscale places with craft cocktails and small plates that cost too much. We grab a big table in the back and spend 3 hours laughing, telling stories, and celebrating. Jamie raises her glass at one point and says, "To Deidre, for showing us what it looks like to stand up for yourself." Everyone cheers. "And for teaching us that our value is not determined by other people's opinions," Daniel adds. "And for coming back," Sarah says quietly. "We needed you." I look around the table at these people I have trained and mentored and worked alongside for years. This is what I almost lost. This connection, this team, this sense of purpose. "Thank you for making it worth coming back," I say. We stay until the bar closes, and when I finally get home around midnight, I feel something I have not felt in a long time. I feel proud of myself. Not because I won, or got revenge, or proved people wrong, but because I knew what I was worth, and I refused to settle for less. And that changed everything. 6 weeks pass. The Thornhill contract is signed. 3 years, excellent terms, quarterly check-ins that have become more like friendly coffee dates where Patricia and I catch up on business and life. My team is thriving. The raises I negotiated for them have improved morale across the board, and 2 of my people have already been promoted to senior positions. Jamie is being groomed for a management role. She reminds me of myself at that age, hungry and driven and full of potential. I have hired 2 new team members, both incredibly talented women who came from non-traditional backgrounds. One has an art degree and worked in retail for 5 years before discovering marketing. The other is a career changer who spent a decade in teaching. They bring fresh perspectives and energy that makes everyone better. The renovations on the executive suite are complete. Marcus moved up there last week. Helen has her own office up there too, though she is rarely in it. She prefers to walk the floors, talking to people, staying connected to the work. Bradley's father never did bring his law firm's business to Stratton and Cole. Marcus learned an expensive lesson about the difference between promises and contracts. Karen has become one of my unlikely allies. She implemented every change we discussed, and HR is running more smoothly than it has in years. She stops by my office once a week to check in, and we have developed a genuine working friendship built on mutual respect and the shared experience of learning from mistakes. I am sitting in my office on a Thursday afternoon in early December when Helen knocks on my door. "Got a minute?" she asks. "Always." She comes in and sits down. I wanted to give you a heads up about something. The board is meeting next week to discuss succession planning. Your name is going to come up as a potential candidate for Chief Operating Officer in about 2 years. I set down my pen. That is fast. You are ready. Or you will be by then. Helen smiles. But I wanted you to hear it from me first, not through the rumor mill. No decisions are being made yet. This is just the beginning of a conversation, but I wanted you to know that you are on that path if you want to be. I need to think about it. Of course. Take your time. After she leaves, I look around my office. The afternoon light is streaming through the windows, hitting my wall of achievements. There are new plaques up there now. VP of the Year, Client Retention Excellence, Leadership Innovation Award. But what strikes me is not the awards. It is the photos. My team at a client meeting, everyone laughing at something, Daniel said. Patricia and me at a conference. Her arm around my shoulders like we are old friends. Jamie and Sarah collaborating on a presentation, their heads bent together over a laptop. These relationships, this community, this sense of building something meaningful together, that is what I almost walked away from. My phone buzzes. It is a text from my mom. Just wanted to say I am proud of you, honey. You stood up for yourself and everything worked out. That took courage. I have not told her the whole story, but she knows enough. She knows I walked out of my job on a Tuesday morning and came back 2 days later with a promotion and equity. She knows I negotiated for what I deserved instead of accepting what I was offered. She knows I am different now than I was 2 months ago. I text back, "Thanks, Mom. Love you." Then I open my laptop and start working on a new project. We have 3 potential clients coming in for pitches next week, and I want to make sure we are ready. Around 5:30, I pack up my things and head out. As I walk through the office, I see my team still working, heads down, focused. I see Karen in her office, on the phone with someone, taking notes. I see Marcus upstairs through the glass walls, looking at something on his computer. This company is not perfect. No company is. But it is better than it was 2 months ago. And I am part of the reason why. I drive home through rush hour traffic, listening to music, feeling content in a way I have not felt in years. When I get home, I pour myself a glass of wine and sit on my balcony, looking at the city lights. And I think about everything I have learned. I learned that your value is not determined by your title or your office or what degree you have. It is determined by the work you do, the relationships you build, and the integrity you maintain when things get hard. I learned that loyalty should go both ways, and sometimes the best revenge is simply becoming the person you were always meant to be. But most importantly, I learned that you teach people how to treat you. For years, I worked late nights and weekends, said yes to everything, never pushed back, never asked for more. I was so busy proving my worth that I never stopped to demand that others recognize it. The day I walked out of that office with my 2 cardboard boxes, I made a choice. I chose to stop participating in my own diminishment. I chose to believe that I deserved better, and that belief changed everything. Because when you know your value, really know it deep in your bones, you stop accepting less than you deserve. You stop making excuses for people who do not treat you right. You stop being grateful for opportunities that do not serve you. And when you do that, one of 2 things happens. Either the right people chase after you and fix what they broke, or you find better people who never break you in the first place. In my case, they chased. They fixed it. They met my demands and gave me what I earned. But if they had not, I would have been fine. Because I had other options. I had Patricia's offer. I had Tom's offer. I had my own skills and track record, and the knowledge that I could build something new anywhere I went. That is the real lesson. The power is not in what other people give you. The power is in knowing you do not need them to give you anything because you already have everything you need inside yourself. I finish my wine and go inside. Tomorrow is Friday, and we have a big client presentation in the afternoon. I need to review the deck one more time. Make sure everything is perfect. But tonight, I am just going to sit here and feel proud of the person I have become. The person who walked out at 11:45 on a Tuesday morning. The person who refused to beg or plead or accept less than she deserved. The person who negotiated from a position of power and won. That person is me, and I am never going back to being anyone else. So here is my question for you. Have you ever been in a situation where you had to walk away to get the respect you deserved? How did you find the courage to value yourself when others did not? I would love to hear your stories in the comments below. If this story resonated with you, please hit that like button. It helps more people find these stories and reminds them that they deserve to be valued too. And if you are not already subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. We share stories like this every week. Stories about everyday people standing up for themselves and winning. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it. We all know someone who is being undervalued at work, who is being taken for granted, who needs the reminder that they have more power than they think. Send them this story. It might be exactly what they need to hear today. Thank you for listening to my story. Thank you for being part of this community. And remember, you are valuable. Your work matters. Your contributions matter. And you deserve to be somewhere that recognizes that every single day. Never settle for less than you deserve. The right people will meet you where you are, or they will lose you. And either way, you will be fine. Take care of yourselves. Stand up for yourselves. Know your worth. I will see you in the next story.